Welcome back. We are sharing the first of 5 aspects of effective school leadership. We are starting with inspiring a shared vision. Where does the leader in school want to go? A clear, articulated, and consistently communicated vision is key. While I ponder in the sunset, check out this key information about inspiring a shared vision. So let's jump right into inspiring a shared vision. We're going to define the practice of inspiring a vision, look at some responsibilities, traits, and strategies, determine the contextual applications of inspiring a shared vision, and look at some resources and key takeaways. So when we talk about inspiring a shared vision, what does that mean? It means the leader of the school takes on whatever district initiative. They have their own vision. They get feedback from the various stakeholders within the school, that's students, teachers, parents, and they formulate their own vision of the school that can effectively inspire everyone in the building. Okay, here's the key thing. Even if it's a top-down vision, the leader has to take ownership of that vision. They have to buy into that vision. It can't just be something that they're checking off a box for, okay? Because it is very hard to convince people to follow a vision that you have not bought into as well, okay? It ultimately ends in turmoil. Okay, so whether prescribed or originally created, the leader must own the vision of the organization in order to effectively inspire other people. Okay, so getting that feedback and formulating a vision, this may be a collective process. It may be something that the administrative team does together after collecting, various feedback from all the stakeholders. But no matter what, it has to be something that everybody, especially the leader, has bought into, and thus they can use their buy-in in order to inspire others to buy in as well. It can't just be a check off of the box. So why it matters? The vision helps align staff, right? Staff know exactly what it is we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it. Oh, well, we're educators. We already know what we have to do. That's not necessarily true. That's too open and arbitrary. It needs to be a specific vision that can be executed, that is bought into, that helps align the staff. So now when they look at their lesson plans, their strategies, their tasks, their techniques, it's going through this vision. Does this align with what it is that we ultimately are trying to do here at the school? With that being said, it also boosts morale. Trying to convince people to follow a vision that you as the leader don't even believe in, after a month or two, morale is going to drop, dramatically, simply because staff is looking at it like, what are we doing? Okay, yeah, you're telling me to do this, and this, but why? What is this aligned to? So if there's no vision, morale can dramatically be decreased. It helps build trust. By having this vision, we understand as a staff and as a school, okay, this leader knows where we're trying to go, and they're doing everything they can in order to get us to this vision, to help us fulfill this vision. And it also centers student learning. So now we have this mechanism, the vision, which dictates how we instruct our students, what we're doing in the classrooms, and we have this filter of the vision to ensure that we stay on task. So what's the importance of the shared vision? We're going to look at it in relationship to the other 4 effective leadership traits: model the way, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. So without a inspired shared vision, these other 4 become obsolete, okay? Because without a vision, what are you modeling? There's no unifying purpose in which we're modeling. There's nothing to challenge because we have no unifying purpose with which to challenge with, okay? So it just becomes arbitrary. It just becomes something that we do. And ultimately, like we talked about before, morale decreases because you're challenging the process, but how are you challenging it? What are you challenging it for? Because we don't have a vision to back it up. Enabling others to act. Without the vision, this becomes that random assigning of tasks. Hey, I need you to take care of this. I need you to take care of this. I need you to take care of this. Why? You're enabling others to act, but for no specific purpose. And then motivation, like we just talked about, is very difficult when people don't see the end result, the end goal. What's the purpose of this? You're telling me, yeah, keep going. You're doing a great job. But what am I doing it for? Because we don't have a vision. So what are some of the core responsibilities of the leader during this time? You have to articulate the purpose. It can't just be, oh, we introduce it at the beginning of the year and never see it again. You have to consistently articulate that purpose. You engage the stakeholders, get their feedback, get their suggestions, observe, see what's going on in your school, make sure that the stakeholders have a voice. It helps align systems. So any new project, any new after-school activity we're doing, it needs to align with our vision. And when we have that vision, it makes it easier to model. So how do some of these responsibilities look in action? So an inspired, shared vision can guide instruction. Again, we have now a filter to determine, is this instructional strategy? Is this instructional technique, this educational philosophy that you want to incorporate into your lesson plan? Does it fit with our vision? It informs PD. So now we don't have these random arbitrary PDs that we sit through. Everybody's there for an hour, 2 hours listening, boom, boom, boom. We implement it for a week or so, and then everybody forgets about it. No, now we are only doing PDs that align with our vision, and that vision is consistent, so that PD is relevant. It drives improvement plans, and it supports hiring and evaluation. Once we have a clear vision, we know what it is we're trying to do, and as a result, we can determine our specific needs. So we're not just hiring people randomly just to fill spaces. We want to hire people that align with our vision, that understand it, and can help us attain it. So some of the key leadership traits during inspiring a shared vision: authenticity, optimism, courage, and emotional intelligence. Okay. These are not exclusive to inspiring a shared vision, but they are necessary in order to maintain it. So what are some of the traits that help sustain this vision? Okay, so sustaining the vision is key. A lot of times, hey, we have a vision, administration works over the summer. They look at all the data. They have feedback from the staff, blah, blah, blah. And we introduce this vision, during that 2-week professional development before school starts. And then they never see it again, right? No, we want to be able to sustain the vision throughout the school year. So you have to share leadership. With a inspired shared vision, you cannot, as the leader, principal, whatever, you cannot do it by yourself. One, it's going to be too much of a burden, and two, it's not going to be effective. So you have to be able to share that leadership. Once you have the vision, it's easier to delineate tasks than it is when you don't have a vision. You want to remain consistent. Again, you don't want to just introduce it at the beginning of the school year and then we look at it at the end of the school year, at the end of the year PDs, and say, oh, did we attain our vision? Are we any closer? No, you want to hear it every day, every week. They should see the vision reiterated on a consistent basis. You have to have openness to feedback. It could be 3 months in and staff is suggesting, hey, let's do this in order to, fortify our vision. You have to be open to feedback from your stakeholders. And then persistence. This is the key one, because if this is something new for your school, you are going to meet resistance simply because this is a new process. Okay. So as the leader, you have to be persistent about the vision. People have to know, hey, this is something that they're serious about. It's not going anywhere. You have to pursue through it. And that's very key. So how does an inspired vision take action? You set clear goals, provide consistent report. There's that word again, consistency or consistent. Consistently monitor progress. There's an old saying, what is it? What doesn't get watched doesn't get done. So you consistently want to monitor the progress towards your vision, and you celebrate wins. This is that encouraging the heart piece, where even if a month in, you walk down the hall as a leader and say, "Hey, Miss Jones, what's our vision?" And she's able to articulate it to some degree. "Hey, thank you, Miss Jones, for paying." Little things, celebrate the wins. So what are some strategies to inspire a shared vision? Listen actively, tell stories. You're like, what? Yes, share your experiences. You can also use this to celebrate wins. You can tell stories of, "Hey, I was talking to Miss Jones in the hallway and she was able to accurately articulate our vision on a drop of a dime." This is what we mean by keeping the vision consistent. So you can tell stories, communicate consistently. As a school leader, as a principal, you cannot be absentee. You can't spend 90% of the day in the office. You have to communicate consistently, as well as in person, via email, via videos, however you need to do it. You want to communicate that vision consistently, and then connect to the values of your stakeholders. Okay, connect to their values. Hopefully you've done this in the initial stage in creating the vision, but in reiterating it, you can draw on the values of your staff and stakeholders to reiterate the vision as well. Some practical school strategies. We have vision workshops, surveys and focus groups, goal setting sessions, visual reminders. So we can use the workshops, the focus groups, and goal setting sessions in order to formulate their original vision, as well as to fine tune it throughout the year. Okay. And then within the building or in emails, you have visual reminders of what our vision is. So when it's all said and done, consider if the vision is clear, voices are missing. Are there any stakeholders who do not have a say in our vision? And if so, why? And how can we, capture their missing voices? And is the vision referenced consistently? So within the description of this video, you have some vision examples for practices. So there's a list of different practices. It's an exhaustive list, of different practices you can use to inspire a shared vision. And then if you don't already have one at your school, you have an evaluation tool that you can use at your disposal. It's free. It's in the description, where you can list what strategies you're using, evaluate those specific strategies to see if those practices are effective in your particular setting. So what are some of the key takeaways? A shared vision drives commitment, not compliance. We're not checking off boxes. We're inspiring people to move according to our visions. The leaders must engage stakeholders in creating the vision. You cannot dictate a vision to people. It's not going to work. If they don't have any say-so in that vision, it's going to be very hard to sustain their commitment to it. The vision should guide daily decisions and priorities. Okay, this is not something you introduce at the beginning of the school year and then take a look at, at the end of the school year. This is something that guides everything that we do on a daily basis. Consistency between words and actions builds trust. If you're the leader and you're saying this is our vision, the actions that you take should be aligned to our vision, just like you expect your teachers to align to that vision. There cannot be any hypocrisy there. And student learning remains the central focus. Whatever your vision is, if you're in the education field, you're a school leader, everything you're doing, the student learning should be the central focus. Thank you. We hope this information was helpful. Be on the lookout for the next in this series, Modeling the Way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. If you found this video beneficial, feel free to support this channel via PayPal or CashApp. 50 cents, $1, or whatever you like. All support is appreciated. This allows us the means to keep making great content.